because I believe the women's game is still going on. Will Russ is over there, so you can pop back and forth if you like. But we are at the winter bracket championship in the men's major right now. And we got Resmondo, who snuck past the 45s 2-0 in the game we showed. 45s actually had more scoring chances in that game. They left about 11 or 12 guys on base. But the problem is they only had about 4 or 5, 6 hits in the entire ball game, and they couldn't push one across. Flashback looked good. They handled March, who's still alive in this tournament. So we're getting down to it. And one of these teams will be in the national championship game. One of them will have to go play the get-back game. So neither of these teams can finish worse than third place. We are in a double elimination tournament. So Flashback will be the visitor, Resmondo on the field. And there's Will Russ, so apparently they're done streaming. How's that women's game going?
It was 5-5 going to the 11th. More or less. They just walked them off. The Hangovers walked off the Lady Rebels 6-5.
So Hangovers walk off Lady Rebels if you were watching that stream in the bottom of the 11th.
Great crowd over there, George.
Huh?
Great crowd over there, Gio. It's cool to see a lot of the former teams, the teams that got knocked out, staying around.
So great crowd watching the women's game. And park is jam-packed. Will Russ, Flashback wins, he'll probably be on the mic again before they come back. I did ask the Resmondo players if they could do us a favor and lose a game, but they all chuckled, as George Bliss had to attend a family function and is not here today, so we're a little short-staffed on the broadcast. So we're doing the best we can. So Flashback will go Brian Kearns, Danny Dispenza, and Justin Smykowski. Wind kind of blowing out on this diamond. And no shade here on the field, so let's hope the camera doesn't overheat. And Brian Kearns, and that goes off the pitcher, and he'll beat that out. Brian Kearns went right up the middle. Clark got a glove on it. Short center, Bazat did the best he could. Brian Kearns, the lefty, flying and bring up Danny Dispenza. And Danny goes toward the gap, and that ball drops in. Kearns is going to go to third. Corey Briggs had a problem, and Kearns is going to score from first. So Flashback an early 1-0 ball game here, as Danny Dispenza dropped a hit in front of the center fielder. Kearns running all the way. Briggs had a little trouble with the ball, and Dispenza double, and here's Justin Smykowski. And Smykowski, little ground ball, little fumble, and Dispenza holds the bag. So that ball bounced right over the base. Looks like Bazat had a little trouble. He might have been anticipating the ball maybe hitting the base, fumbled it. Flashback up 1-0, runners on the corner, nobody out here. That brings up Mike Manzella. Of course, Flashback has been the best, most consistent team this year. They lead the Chicago Summer Series point standing for teams. They've won 2 events, finished second, and they got a third. This, of course, the 5th leg. And Joe Piscitelli on deck. And Manzella walks to load him up with nobody out. Manzella flipped the bat away. He was chomping at the bit to get a swing, and here's Joe Pitt. Of course, now offensively, the way the wind's blowing here, it's a good hitter's day to hit. Low humidity. Clark struggling. He had a pitch with a wind in his face, and Joe Pish hits it deep. Smykowski, he's going to go. They may try to double tag. They hold him there. Flashback a 2-0 lead. And that's a good ball. Justin got a little too much air on it, or Pish got a little too much air under it. But he did drive the left fielder back. Both runners advance, and here's Joe Yagardo. So 2-0 Flashback early here, top of the first. And Joey Agardo sweeps it into right field. One run's going to score, and they'll hold Manzella at third. 3-0 Flashback as they jump up early here. Here's Anthony Stacy, still only one out here. Joey Agardo, again, wind blowing out. This is as deep as we've seen the Resmondo outfield play. And there he tops one. A little trouble. Bases are going to be loaded. So that ball took a bad kind of a hop up on Bubba Mack. Couldn't make the play here. So the bases loaded, one out, and here's Ryan Russ.
Riles!
Left fielder Josh Riley creeping in a little bit, but with the wind blowing out, like I said, this is the deepest. This is the most yardage we've seen from the outfielders to the Resmondo infield all weekend.
Yeah, he's way back.
So Ryan Russ now, still only one out here. Flashback a chance to really put a crooked number up here. So Resmondo really hasn't trailed. When they have, it's been by a couple of runs. And they usually have come back hard, and they're going to score runs with the wind blowing out. So if you're Flashback here with the bases loaded, you need to take advantage. And there's a little high flare. That'll score one. He'll throw it to third. 4-0. Brings up John Zawoski now. Joey Agardo will be running on the swing, as will Anthony Stacy. So Flashback, a very early 4-0 lead here. Long way to go in this one.
You're all right, buddy. Not too much. Play, bud.
Resmondo, you think about slight advantages. Their dugout is in complete shade with the rug. Half of Flash's dugout is in the sun. If they sit down, they'll be in the shade. And that's a little high. Mike Meyer on deck. And Zawoski delivers a hit. One run is in. Stacy's going to score. Zawoski, the double into the alley. 6-0 Flashback early. So John Zawoski just sat back. And that's interesting because they're playing deeper. That ball was hit hard to the gap where they were playing earlier in the tournament. That ball would have actually been more than a double. So here's Mike Myers, Flashback an early 6-0 lead. Resmondo is yet to hit. That'll be foul, not by much. And we talked yesterday when Flashback played Chucks that they have what we would call a big boy offense. Got a couple of good sticks on the bench as well. So they have a lot of flexibility and what they can do with Julian Gutierrez and Steph McLaren, Denny Lawler, Shane Lawler. And Mike Myers takes that pitch a little deep. Mike, the 10th hitter of the inning, with their pitcher, Mike Mirosevich, on deck. And Myers a little flare to center, but Briggs is there. But Flashback comes out of the gate hard, took advantage of a couple of fumbles, pushed 6 across. Resmondo coming to bat. So here comes Resmondo. A lot of game to go here. And, of course, they got some big hitters in their lineup. So I don't think they're going to fold up the tent and go home quite yet. So if you're Flashback, you'd like to maybe get a goose egg and ride that momentum. They will have Mike Mirosevich leading off, and it wouldn't surprise me if they get a goose egg here if maybe they didn't pinch hit and try to roll up another big inning in the second, heading into the top of their lineup again. So it's going to be Josh Riley, Kyle Pearson, and Jason Matusik. And again, we've seen Resmondo have pretty good innings. So, like I said, they're not going to be intimidated. They know they can hit the ball, and the wind is blowing out. And to be honest with you, they really didn't generate a lot of chances against the 45s. Part of that was the wind. Part of it was some very good defense by the 45s, and Israel Sanchez pitched a pretty good game.
Please stay loud. Please stay loud. Put it together right now. Let's go. Come on.
So here's Josh Riley leading off.
Have a little fun. Have a little fun.
And we'll see how Moji's knuckleball does. He does have a wind in his face. And there's a bullet. He gets it over the shortstop, leadoff man on. As Josh Riley hit about a 10-foot high rocket over the shortstop. Iggy was in a good spot, just couldn't get up high enough to snag it. And that brings up Kyle Pearson. Nobody out, leadoff man on. And again, we were talking that this game might be a football score. Riley off to a big lead here. And Moji grabs a strike there. As Pearson there's a long, high fly ball. Outfield goes back. Ryan Russ up against the fence makes the catch. The runner dig tag. So high towering fly ball. Ryan Russ caught it about a foot short of the fence. Put his hand out and just kind of spun and got it in for out number one. So the ball definitely carrying. That ball about a foot shy of getting out of here. And let's see if some of these bigger Resmondo hitters maybe take that as a cue to try to dip and drive here. Brings up Jason Matusik. Again, it is 300-foot fences all the way around here. This is the type of breeze that if they get it up in the jet stream, we might see Resmondo leave the yard once or twice.
I'll let you know if he creeps. Boy, we know it.
So that pitch a little low. It's 6-12 on the arc. And Matusik was just in the box. Of course, those of you on the live stream know that. And there's a strike. You do get the cross if it crosses two corners. So Moji trying to work back from a 3-0 count. Got it full.
Good, Josh.
Matusik up in the box. And there he gets him to beat it into the ground. Joey Agardo up the line. Zoe makes the tag for 2 outs. Again, Joey got a little low on that arm slot. Threw a screwball over here. He's kind of wiping his hand a little bit. Problem on turf is you can't reach down and grab a little dirt. So here's Phil Matt, who absolutely destroyed a triple into the wind down the left field line. See if Phil tries to go deep here. So Mike Marasovic, so far looks like he's making a conscious effort to not get too mechanical. And there's a base hit. Phil Matt just rips one into center field, and Resmondo's on the board, 6-1. Phil Matt just sat back and rifled it right up the middle. And here comes Bubba Mack, the third baseman. So 6-1 now, runner on first with 2 outs. And there's a way out of play. Ryan Russ hurdles the fence. a lot of times late in the weekend, we'll see people put guys down the line so their outfielders don't have to do stuff like that. Just underway here, bottom of the first. So with these outfielders playing deep, anytime we get a base runner with 2 outs, it's going to be a great chance for them to score. So Moji mixing it up. And there's a hard ground ball to Iggy. It sticks in the glove and he makes the play. So Resmondo gets one back. Flash's lead cut to 5. Will head to the top of the second. So Mike Marasovic really working hard. Steady diet of high deep and hard fast. Trying to disrupt a little bit of the Resmondo timing. And we head to the top of the second. And Resmondo's shown that they can hit the ball. So right now what you're looking at, if you're a Flashback, you just want to keep tacking on. Put a little mental pressure on Resmondo to have to try to find a way to score a really, really big number. So Bob Russ Jr. Bob Russ will talk to anybody anytime during a ball game. So it's going to be 11-1-2. Mike Marasovic, the pitcher, Brian Kearns, and Danny Dispenza. And they're going to squeeze Moji.
Hey, Bob will stay with.
So up 5, they won't hit for Moji here. They're going to go ahead and let him stay in the ball game.
Big ball, fellas. Big ball. Come on, somebody make a play.
That pitch is deep. So not surprising Moji would be taking some pitches here.
Come on, Trav. Come on, make him run ahead.
And there's a strike.
Hey, make a play here.
Full count.
Briggs in front.
And Moji hits a soft fly ball. Easy play out there for the left fielder, Josh Riley. So leadoff man down brings up Brian Kearns with Danny Dispenza on deck. So now for Brian Kearns, they're going to come in. And Brian tried to go down that line, but it drifts foul. Again, had that ball been fair, it would have been interesting to see if the right fielder, Buddy Wolf, could have got there. He didn't really make much of an effort. Kind of saw it was going to go foul. So Brian Kearns started the top of the first off. Hard ball off of Clark that the shortstop Bazat couldn't make a play on. So 2 strikes on Kearns now. So wind picking up here a little bit. And there's illegal. So Joe's Monza, the home plate umpire, so far being consistent. And there's a ground ball off of Clark again. Kearns will take a look, but Josh Riley playing him tight. Second time he's gone off the pitcher up the middle. Brings up Dispenza. He dumped a single toward left center. They had a little trouble with it. Kearns scored from first. And Dispenza hits a hot shot, little bobble, nobody at first. So Pearson reached over. I think Clark was going to be a little late there anyway. And Flashback taken advantage so far of getting some runners on hard hit balls down, making Resmondo work a little defensively for Justin Smykowski. And they are playing Justin a little too shallow and right if he decides to turn and burn, and he does. Long fly ball way in the air, but he got under it. Kearns is going to score from second, folks. So Justin Smykowski gave it a ride. Didn't quite barrel up like he wanted to. Gave it a ride. The right fielder, Buddy Wolf, got back on it. But it was a foregone conclusion. He was running backwards. Kearns scores from second. Dispenza to second. And here's Manzella, walked his first time. And then if you're Flashback, you'd like to pick up that 8th run here with 2 outs if you could. Wind blowing straight out to right field. And Manzella tries to go the other way, and just really a little late on that swing. It's almost like he swung on an afterthought. And again, it's a 2-out RBI situation. You want to try to go to your best swing. And there he goes with center fielder Corey Briggs. But Flashback picks up the run that Resmondo got. And we'll head now to the bottom of the second, 7-1. And I got to tell you, Flashback's been doing what we kind of thought the 45s maybe should have done a little bit more of, with the wind blowing in and that 2-0 loss, which is that they've made the Resmondo infield work a little bit here. And they've gotten a few base runners, and at least 3 of the guys that reached on balls hit hard throughout the infield have scored. So down by 6 again. It's going to be the pitcher, Travis Clark, then Buddy Wolf, and Tyler Mashburn.
Travis, give us a lead, kid. Travis, give us a lead here, Travis.
So Flashback out of the gate good here. And there's a strike. And Travis has been working the middle of the field, either trying to hit line drives there or and that ball's going to drift out of play. Nobody can get to it. Francisco Arenas jumps on it and gets it back in for us. And he's been trying to work the center of the diamond a lot. Got robbed by Israel Sanchez in that 45 game on the line drive. And John Zawoski's about 15 feet. They're really squeezing the center of the diamond. And there's a fly ball. Dispenza comes in. So they were playing Zawoski about 15 feet off the right field line. Myers was up the middle. Joe Piscitelli was behind second. And Joey Agardo, the shortstop, was squeezing toward the bag. So they must have been watching Resmondo. And here's Buddy Wolf, the right fielder. And he hits a pop-up. Joe Piscitelli calls for it, and he makes the catch. So, again, I think the approach that Resmondo has had of not thinking about hitting home runs has served them well up to this point. And I don't know if some of their hitters might be thinking, wind blowing out, let's go back to the drive swing. But when outfielders are playing you this deep, there's so much space, the line drive works. So here's Tyler Mashburn. Like I said, we really haven't seen much of Tyler.
Come on, Mark. You go, we go. You go, we go. Hey, boy. Come on.
So again, Moji's really been working.
Come on, Mark. You go, we go, kid.
Full count here, 2 outs, nobody on. And there's a high fly ball. Ryan Russ is there, and they'll put it away. So at the end of 2 complete, 7-1 Flashback, leading Resmondo. Again, a lot of game to go. If you're Flashback, I think your goal is you want to continue to tack on. You don't want to sit on a number because sooner or later Resmondo's going to have an inning. And more importantly, I talk all the time that what you want to do is impose your will on the other guy. And when you score every inning, that is the thing that I think chips away at the other team's confidence more than anything else. When you just start thinking, man, these guys are relentless and we can't stop them.
March with 2 in the first is 45.
So March leading the 45s, they scored 2 in the first. March having a good run. We're down to 4 teams now. And the loser of this game would play the winner of the 45s in March, I believe. And then the loser, the winner of that game, would come back and play whoever wins this. So Joe Piscitelli, the shortstop, leading off here. And Pish walks the dog. No! That dog won't hunt as it goes foul. And they'll start over again. Ball just drifted. When it left the bat, it looked good. Had it stayed fair, would have been extra bases. In the back end of the year, he's been coming this way a lot more. I'm not a big fan of it. I think Joe's got good pop to both gaps. And I think sometimes he falls in love trying to hit that ball down the right field line. Strike 2, way ahead in the count now, is Travis Clark. And Joe Piscitelli, diving stop by the shortstop, Pearson, but he can't make the play. Is that Pearson or Mashburn? That's Mashburn playing short. So looked like it was going to get through there clean. He made a diving stop. The ball kind of bounced out of his glove. Leadoff man on here for Joey Agardo. And that's my pet peeve. If you're going to take a pitch, I want, as a hitter, I want my hitters to look like they're hitting. And there's a little flip shot, and that's going to drop. Piscitelli will get to third. As Joey Agardo just flipped it in front of the right fielder, Buddy Wolf. And that's what happens when you got to back up on guys. Here's Anthony Stacy. Anthony's job is to get one in and get one over here. And he hits a fly ball. I don't think that's going to get one over, but it will get one in. So Flash has put something, excuse me, something up on the board every inning. And right now they lead 8-1. And here's Ryan Russ. So Anthony Stacy did drive the run in, but he didn't get the run over.
Marsh, ready to go get one.
And Ryan Russ punches it into center field. Gardo will get to third. Runners on the corner. So Flashback so far looking sharp on offense. It brings up John Zawoski. As we are only in the top of the third. This might be the most runs Resmondo's given up in a game this weekend. Zawoski, hard ground ball. Mashburn, nifty backhand play. Nice job there by Bazat to keep a foot on the bag to get the fielder's choice. Another run does score. That was a slick play by Mashburn, a little backhand pickup. Throw was a little bit off, but Bazar turned into a first baseman. Brings up Mike Myers. That pitch is a little deep. 9-1 flashback here, top of the third. And there's a ball, diving stop by Bazar. Throw to first in time. Great play by Bazar to end the inning as he laid out to stop what looked to be a single. Got up and got just enough on the throw. Great stretch by Pearson. And Resmondo coming up in the bottom of the third, trailing 9-1. Couple of nifty defensive plays there, or Flashback could still be hitting. But Flashback 6 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. They've scored in every inning. And I see Brett Helmer trying to talk to Mike Marasovic, maybe trying to distract him a little bit. Moji's been locked in. So we might be seeing a little. I'm always wary when teams try to kill you with kindness. So 9-1 flashback. Thought I saw Vito to short center here. Yeah, he's on the bench. I think flashback is just going with the guys that got him here. So they also have Vito Iovino on the bench. So I think this might be a pinch hitter. This might be Kyle Pearson hitting for Tyler Mashburn. And there's a high fly ball. Dispenza's there. Puts it away for out number 1. No, I'm sorry. That was Corey Briggs. That was one hitter off there. Brad Record, Kevin Bazart. Next 2 scheduled hitters here. So Brad Record, second baseman, trying to get something going here in the bottom of the third. So again, Moji working hard here. A little deep. And guys love to play behind Moji. And there's a fly ball to center. Smykowski makes the catch. Sinking line drive. Justin Smykowski comes in, slid into it, and made the catch at the no glove out in Forest Park in the 7th inning of the championship game. He made 2 spectacular catches.
Sure did.
So nice play by Smykowski. 2 outs here, 9-1. Brings up Bazat. Again, I think sometimes, too, what happens is outfielders will get their mitt underneath the ball. So the webbing is on the ground, and if the ball should hit that webbing, little flare, Piscitelli over the shoulder catch, makes the play, and we'll head to the 4th, 9-1 flashback. And we saw Bazat in that 45 game lay one on the carpet, a little soft roller to third for a base hit. So he does know how to take something off his swing. That time, Joe Piscitelli just made a nice play on it. So Flashback has scored in every inning. We'll see if they keep that trend alive. 45's up 5? 45's? 45's leading March 5-2. The loser of that game will be out of the tournament and finish 4th. And this might be bottom top. Looks like Julian Gutierrez has grabbed the bat and will hit for Mike Marasovic. And then they'll be back to the top with Brian Kearns and Danny Dispenza. And right now, you're up 9-1 here in the 4th. And
Hey, real good in the gaps. It's good.
if you're Flashback, you're looking for a kill shot if you could get one. Julian takes that ball a little deep. And they've tightened up for Julian. Julian takes another ball, 2-0. And when we first saw Julian with smack out, everything was grip and rip, and he was hitting bombs to right field and right center. He's expanded his game since then. And Julian Gutierrez, big hop to Bazart over to first for out number 1. So Julian trying to go look like the other way, and they were playing him not too shallow, but just beat that into the ground. So this might be the first inning. They got the leadoff man out. And Kearns, a little spinner. That was my nightmare scenario, this kid running into me. Because that's a big, solidly built player right there. So here's Brian Kearns. Even Will Russ, the coach, froze. He didn't know which way to go. So here's Brian Kearns back to softball. And Kearns just flips one down the line, and he's going to head to second with a stand-up double. So Flashback right now been doing a little bit of everything with the bats. They put a runner in scoring position with 1 out with Dispenza and Smykowski coming up here. And Dispenza, hard ball to Bazart. The runner does move, looked like the front shoulder, just couldn't elevate it. Now it's up to Smykowski to get the run. Justin gave a ball a ride the last time that the right fielder, Buddy Wolf, got back on. But Justin's got some space here. And he gets in trouble when he swings at pitches that are a little too low. With Justin, it's about pitch selection. And there's a bullet, Bazart. So they get their first egg of the game as Smykowski and Dispenza can't deliver after the 1-out double. And we head now halfway through 9-1 Flashback. Resmondo does got the hammer, and
Hey, get back in the fight. Let's go. Nice. Let's go. Look, get back in the fight.
I think Jeff Hernandez looks like he's got a little sheet there. And I think he's talking to Mike Myers about who's coming up, how they want to play these guys. Because I know J.P. Scourin keeps the book and is one of the coaches for Flashback. He's a softball junkie. He was walking around watching games, and I'm sure they were watching some of the streams. Modern technology, if you're a good team and we stream you, people watch that to see what you're doing. So top of the Resmondo lineup here in the bottom of the 4th, Josh Riley, Kyle Pearson, and Jason Matusik. So big test here. So we're halfway through the ball game. First half belonged to Flashback. We'll see what happens second half. And there's a wicked line drive. Just foul. You can tell by the way Riley was running out of the box. He thought it was going to hook foul, and it did. Hitter always knows. And that ball looked like it was dancing a little bit, like it had a knuckleball. But it did stay foul. And Moji did pitch to a few of these Resmondo guys in the All-Star game. So for the guys that were in that game, he got to see him up close and personal, as they say. And there's a high fly ball, and Ryan Russ gets there after a long run. Ryan Russ, that ball just kind of hung up in the air in that cross breeze. Ryan, he's deceptive, and he covers a ton of yardage. Ran a long way. The ball hung up just enough to allow him to get there. Went into a semi-slide, made the catch. That's going to bring up the big first baseman, Kyle Pearson.
No matter, let's go. The battle. Play your three now, let's go.
That pitch just a little inside, it looked like. And Moji just drops a flat pitch in there. Just dropped it into what we call the well, is where the plate slants to the point. And there he tried to sneak a fastball past him. And he drills it down the right field into the corner. It's going to be at least two. Here comes the relay. And that throw missed it. The home run down the right field line. So Moji tried to sneak a fastball past him. Pitch was up around letter high. The barrel really lagged there, but he hit it hard down the right field line. 9-2. So I'm not sure if he was necessarily trying to go there, but the speed of the pitch, 9-2. So Resmondo inside the park homer brings up Matusik. And we'll see if that's a rally killer, as they say. And there's a towering fly ball. Ryan Russ on his horse near the fence, and it's gone. Justin Matusek leaves the park. Somebody got to go get the ball, because there's no gate over there. So that ball left the yard. He got it up in the air. 9-3, back-to-back homers. One outside, one inside. Ryan Russ had a long way to go. He got to the fence, but it was gone. So Resmondo showing a little life here. And here's Phil Matt. Ryan Russ started in a step. So Moji got that right up in his wheelhouse, and he didn't miss it. 9-3 now. So they've cut that 8-run lead down. It was 9-1 coming in. They've cut it to 6. And we know Phil here, Matt, has got a lot of pop as well. And there's a hard ground ball. Stacy cuts it off. Nicely done for the first out of the inning.
Let's go, pick him up. We're losing the game. Good job, Russ. Good ball.
And they are sending somebody out to get the ball there. Looks like a young kid's running to go get it. There's a gate over there. I don't know if it's locked. And it is. There's a, well, the kid's going to climb the fence now. How's that for hustle? And that ball is shot, but it'll stay in the park. Ryan Ross. So they pick up a deuce. They cut it to 6. And there's a young guy over there looking for Matuzik's home run. So that ball will be coming in at some point. But at this point in the 4th inning, the ball they threw in is going to be about the same. Looks like the kid has it. Not sure who that is. It's a guy in a red shirt there. So nice effort. Kid jumped up on that fence like Spider-Man. Now he's stuck on the top of the fence. Thought a little better of it. So now he's going to take the long way around. Okay, so we're back in it here. 9-3, Resmondo. Apparently there were a couple of balls over there. So if I'm not mistaken, that's the first ball we've seen hit over a fence in a ball game. We've seen, obviously, the home run contest. It's going to be Manzella, Piscitello, and Igardo. And Mike keeps looking this way. Pitch just cleared in the well. And Manzella screams one the other way for a base hit. Leadoff single for Flashback. Here comes Joe Piscitelli. So if you're Flashback, you'd like to... And there's a pinch runner. Will Russ going to run for Mike Manzella. So nobody out here. Joe Piscitelli. And they're really not playing Joe. Very short. Buddy Wolf and right. And there he... And Will Russ... Oh, he would have made it. The throw was wide. So Joe Pish was kind of set up to hit that ball. Looked like he was going to go to right field. It looked like he changed his mind. Brings up Joey Igardo. And he takes a strike. 1 out, 1 on now. Top of the 5th. And Joey goes toward a gap and he beats him. Will Russ making the turn. He's going to score. Throw to the plate. Save. And now the ball gets away and Igardo goes to 3rd. Head first dive by Will Russ. He scored from first on a stretch single. And they pick up one of those runs. Meanwhile, with 1 out, Joey Igardo, the ball got away from the catcher. And Iggy took an extra 60 feet. So Vito pinch hitting here for Anthony Stacy. So Vito's an interesting guy. He's got a lot of different swings. And there he tried to go big. That will score another run. And Flashback picks up the 2 they gave up. And they push back out to that 8-run lead that they had. So Flashback 11-3. Their execution has been good. And it brings up Ryan Russ. So here's Ryan Russ here. John Zawaski on deck. And Ryan slaps it off the glove of Bubba Wolf. Or I'm sorry, that's Mac. Bubba Mac. What'd I say, Wolf? Bubba, Buddy. Two outs here for John Zawoski. Ryan Russ runs pretty good. And there's a line drive off the glove of Pearson. Ryan Russ stopped running. I'm not sure. There was two outs. Would have been close. So Ryan Russ, maybe a little bit of a mental breakdown there. There were two outs. He got to third, and he kind of stopped like he was worried about a catch or something. Big spot for Meyer. Two more ducks on the pond in an 11-3 ball game here.
Hard space, big play. Come on, Abe. Come on, Abe. Come on, Abe.
Mike Myers with the single could get this to a 10-run lead. A little deep there. And Myers, hard ground ball. Nice job there by the shortstop. He had a runner cutting right in front of him. Stayed right with it. But Flashback comes back. They push out to an 8-run lead as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. So Flashback playing up to this point a sharp ball game. And they have during the summer been the best team out here. And they look like they're engaged in the game today, certainly.
Hey, fix the 3. 3's the problem, not the 11. Let's go. Come on, that's fixable, right? Come on. Come on.
So it's going to be the pitcher leading off, Travis Clark, Buddy Wolf, and Tyler Mashburn, but we'll see if they hit Kyle Pearson, who's already hit once. Now Mashburn does have a bat, so they're going to let him hit. So here's Clark, and he pulls it right to Stacy. Reached out nonchalantly, made the catch. Leadoff man down, and it brings up Buddy Wolf, the right fielder. So Resmondo right now, they scored 2 with the wind blowing in. They've so far still got a lot of game to go. They've only scored 3 with the wind blowing out. And there's a strike in the well. 2 strikes now. Moji way ahead here in the count. See if he tries to waste one. And he got him to reach a little bit. Dispenza makes the catch for out number 2. Good pitch. Threw him a little dead fish. It looked like Buddy reached just a hair for it. Gave it a pretty good ride, but he was reaching. Didn't really get that full hip rotation into it. So the Moji telling his second baseman he went right center last time. Tyler Mashburn. And there he pulls it. Stacy. That's going to be at least 2. Should have been the 3rd out of the inning. Stacy looking at himself like, what happened there? Said it was a little bit of a knuckleball. Think he closed his glove a hair early on it. So a 2-out base runner for Resmondo brings up Corey Briggs, the center fielder. Good job there by Ryan Russ to come all the way in.
I'll let you know if he creeps, Marsh. You got 10 feet. You're good there. See the release.
So we'll see if that comes into play here.
You're good.
So it looked like it was going to be a 1-2-3 inning. And that's what I don't like about the gloves sometimes. Guys will just reach up one-handed. That ball was hit hard. And from the way Anthony was talking to the shortstop, it might have been a little bit of a knuckleball. I'd like to see guys try to get 2 hands up there. And there's a little chopper. Joey Agardo throws the glove away and makes the play. So Joey read the hop, didn't want to deal with the mitt, just flipped the glove aside and caught it barehanded and threw it. So the error does not affect anything. We head top 6, 11-8 flashback. So again, if you're Resmondo, even though these guys are grown men and they've played a lot of softball, by 16-inch standards, they're still young players from an experience standpoint, and they're learning every time they come out. So they played a game with the wind blowing in, and now they're playing a game where they're kind of trailing, and that's all part of them playing. But the worst they can do this weekend is 3rd, and they've had a great weekend, and they still could win this game and the tournament. So, but it's all a process for them. We know talking to them, they've enjoyed themselves, and they think the tournament's been run pretty well, and it's our understanding, if they don't have any conflicts, that they're going to plan on coming back next year. So they're going to let Mike Marasovic hit, which makes sense because up to this point, he's been in control of the ball game. And Moji tries to go the other way, and he dumps it fair. And now let's see if they pinch run for him. He is a base clogger, but he walks the dog and dropped it fair. He's giving me the elephant side. Of course, I had Moji for a couple of years. He was my main pitcher on Mudville. So here's Brian Kearns. If I'm Kearns, I'm looking to just get it something clean. And there he flips it the other way, and easy catch out there for Josh Riley. Now, the interesting thing is a guy like Danny Dispenza, who loves to hit doubles, he's got to be careful. He can't run Moji off of a base. And they really... Danny tries to go big. Buddy Wolf going back. He'll make the catch. Emoji's going to go ahead and lumber into second base. Getting a lot of cheers from the Flashback fans for tagging up on a high fly ball. And the Resmondo guys are having a good laugh. Emoji's breathing kind of hard.
Same thing, buddy. Got a bunch.
So here's Justin Smykowski. If he hits a double, Moji may score. Moji says, I can hear you. And I tell you, if I'm managing Flash, I really don't want Moji over and exerting himself. And there he just skies it. He's got room. So the Moji leadoff hit goes by the wayside. They can't score. We'll go bottom of the 6th, 11-3 Flashback. So both teams kind of having a good time out here. And the big thing is now let's watch Moji on the hill. He didn't get a chance to rest. And let's see how he does this inning. So I tell you, Buddy Wolf in right field has impressed me in this game. He's shown a lot of range. There's been some balls hit that he has gotten back and tracked very well in right field. So every game we're learning a little something more about this Resmondo club. So here we go, leading off here. Want to say this is Brad Record with Bazart and then the top of the lineup. And so Moji is falling right behind. So again, we were wondering how that running was going to affect them. He grabs a strike there. 3-1 count. Full count, so he works his way back from 3-0. And there's a little chopper over to Joe Piscitelli, and that'll be out number 1. So Moji fell behind 3-0, worked his way back, and got a little two-hopper to the short center for the lead out. And here's Bazert. And now if I was Stacy, I would be looking to creep in a little bit, as he has laid a couple down at third base, usually later in ball games. And the left side of the Flashback infield is creeping a little bit. And there's a strike. And there's an illegal call. I think Bazart was going to offer at it. And that pitch, that wasn't that deep in the area behind. So full count, 1 out here. And Bazart just got it over the top of Meyer. And Bazart running hard all the way, turns it into a double. Myers took a couple of steps, jumped. It looked like it went just off the top of his fingers on the glove hand for a 1-out double. Now they're back to Josh Riley. Bazat is saying, how close were you to catching that? And he's like, just off the tip of the glove. And that slowed it up enough that Smykowski coming in couldn't get to it to make a throw. So here's Josh Riley with Kyle Pearson on deck. Or as I like to say, the road graders are coming up now, including that guy Matusik.
You're good.
And there's a strike. So everybody watching the game is hanging on every pitch. And there's a base hit. That's going to score the 4th Resmondo run, and it's 9-4. So 1 out. Here's Kyle Pearson. With Jason Matusik on deck. Jeff Hernandez just going to come and slow things down a little bit. Telling the defense what they want them to do here. Now, Pearson has hit a lot of balls to the right side of the field. And
Right, 1 out.
One out here. So they're deep in the outfield, deep in the infield. Mike Marasovic looking for maybe a double play ball. That pitch looked like it might have been a little inside. And there's a strike. 1-1 count here. Riley off to a good lead. Little inside. Looks like Moji doesn't want these guys to get their arms extended. And there's a foul ball that's going to be out of play. And the fan down there makes the play. A couple of fans deep down that left field line threw it in. So one out here. Now it looks like Will Russ is going to jog down that line, maybe save his left fielder some running. And there's a high fly ball. Sikowski's there. He's got a rifle. And here it comes, one hot beauty. 2 outs for Jason Matuzak, who went yard his last time up. And that, you know what, if you're Resmondo, that's probably a pretty good idea not to get thrown out at second base, to let the big man get a bite of the apple here. So right now the Flashback guys are hoping Moji doesn't throw the same pitch he did last time to this guy. 9-4, bottom of the 6th. Flashback, 11-4. There he grabs an inside strike. Tuzak didn't like it. And there's a line drive in, caught by Piscitelli. Got the glove on it, popped up, stuck with it. We're going to head to the 7th. 11-4, Flashback. So top of the 7th. Tell you, if I'm Flashback, I got a 7-run lead, but I'd like to get more. So Will Russ helping out Resmondo here, playing catch with Travis Clark. Like I said, if I was Flashback, I wouldn't sit on the number, because even though Resmondo's only got four.
Russ and Randy Russ a shout out. He texted me. They're watching. They're in Florida watching.
So the Russ is watching in Florida. Shout out from Will. So if you're Flashback, you're up 7.
45s are up 7 too.
45s are up 7, but what you have here is, you know, Resmondo's actually hit a lot of balls really hard. So you don't really want to just think the game is ever over. Well, yeah, Moji's done a good job, but he's really working. He's throwing it fast. He's throwing it high. He's throwing the knuckleball. A couple of times ahead of the count, he's actually not throwing the knuckleball. And Manzella gets a base hit in front of the left fielder, Josh Riley. Riley thought about maybe selling out, but he didn't. It brings up Pish. So Mike Manzella continues to swing it. Nobody out, leadoff single here. Top of the 7th. And Joe Piscitelli, he'd tell you, he gets a little stubborn. He keeps trying to hit that ball. So Flashback came out right from the jump, put up a 6 spot in the first, have led ever since. And now he goes halfway. Manzella courtesy fake. They ran for him earlier in the game, so no pinch runner now. Brings up Joey Agardo, who's been carving them up here with little dinks and dunks, and looks like Buddy Wolf is going to really start to squeeze a little bit and right.
Riley, go!
Joey Agardo. And that ball hit the plate. And I hate this. Most pitchers can, and there's a walk. So Travis Clark, it'll push another potential run to second. Here's Anthony Stacy. This would be a good time for Anthony to maybe think about right center. You got Buddy Wolf coming down in right. Center fielder didn't move with him. He's got a huge opportunity if he hits something hard to right center here. And he tries to go there, but too much center field. Manzella will tag and go to third. Just didn't quite hit it. And brings up Ryan Russ. So these are big runs here. And I know a lot of you are saying, what are you talking about? They're up 7, but a couple of runs here really mentally can get to you as a team. That ball a little too flat, illegal. There's a strike. .21, that pitch outside. Ryan Russ delivers, another run scores. As Ryan just went down after that low one. And that's what I was talking about earlier in that 45 game. I talked about guys going the other way and not sitting through the swing. If you rewind the tape, that was a perfect example. Ryan bent at the knees, went down, and then followed through his swing without standing up all the way and was able to hit a crisp line drive. Here's Zawoski. It's now 12-4 Flashback. He grabs a strike there as in the middle of the pitch. Zoe just stepped out of the box, but no time there. So Zoe took that pitch. I think he thought it was going to be outside, but it just stayed within the parameters there. So 2 strikes now, 2 outs. Ryan Russ will be moving on the swing. And Zawoski, a little flare, that could be trouble. And it drops. 1 run is in, 2 runs are in. On a John Zawoski flare to center. And it's 14-2. Flashback here in the top of the 7th. Corey Briggs, the center fielder, just couldn't get to it. And again, when you have to play deep, that's what happens. The bigger, stronger guys get those little dump hits. Here's Steph McLaren now pinch hitting for Mike Myers. And Steph drives it, diving stop. Nice play at first. Great play by the second baseman as he laid out. Little backhand flip for the 3rd out. So do or die, bottom of the 7th. Resmondo down 10. So Flashback has been relentless. I want to say they've scored in 5 of the 7 innings. And Mike Marasovic has pitched a pretty big ball game. He had the back-to-back homers, the line drive down the right field line, and then the Matuzik bomb that got out of here and left. But other than that, he's done a good job. Flashback's defense, both in the outfield and infield, has been excellent in support, and a very crisp performance by Flashback. So it's going to be Phil Matt, Bubba Mack, and Travis Clark here. And Resmondo looking at an awful tall hill to climb. And there's a line drive foul. And that ball was smoked. Will Russ a little late, so Ryan Russ has to go all the way out there to shag it. Heard some of the Flashback guys going, Will, what are you doing? You got to get out there. Flashback trying to do something we haven't seen very much in the last few years. They won the Forest Park No Glove tournament, and they're trying to win the men's major. If they get 3 defensive outs here, they'll be in the championship game. And there's a high fly ball. Ryan Russ is there, and he puts it away for out number 1. So Phil Matt gave it a ride. Ryan tracked it all the way and got there for out number 1. And Flashback's got a very athletic, fast outfield. And they've been all over it in this game. So here's Bubba Mack, the third baseman. It's Resmondo down to the last 2 outs here, bottom of the 7th. If you're Mike Marasovic, you want him swinging. And with the 10-run lead, you can't worry if somebody lights you up for a dinger or something. And there's a chopper up the middle to Joe Piscitelli. Long throw in time. Piscia, strong arm. Just kind of flipped it nonchalantly over there with a little mustard on it. So down to their last out, the pitcher, Travis Clark. And there's a ground ball. Mike Myers and Flashback hands Resmondo their first loss of the tournament, 14-4. Flashback in the championship game. They will play the winner of Resmondo's 45s in a rematch of a game we showed you earlier. So we're going to take a break, folks. We'll be back for the first championship game.